This is the moment an evil police chief tries to escape his interrogation. Welcome back, Charlie here. Meet Grant Hardin, a police chief who has been arrested on suspicion of murder. But he's also hiding a secret so dark he's willing to do everything he possibly can to manipulate detectives and escape justice. On the 23rd of February 2017, James Appleton had pulled into a parking lot to take a phone call with his brother-in-law. That was when a white Chevrolet Malibu pulled up beside James's car. The driver of the Chevrolet fired one shot before speeding away. When a witness to this went to check on James, he was no longer alive. A cold, calculated hit. This took place in Gateway, Arkansas, a small town of around 400 people. The only person in town who owned a white Chevrolet Malibu was Grant Hardin, a 50-year-old police chief who had lived in Gateway his entire life. Later that night, Grant was driving his family back home after they'd had dinner at a restaurant. That was when his white Chevy was stopped at a police checkpoint. Grant was quickly taken to the police station he used to work at for questioning. But unfortunately for detectives, Grant's law enforcement background would make interrogating him incredibly difficult.
I'm Detective Chamberlain. I know we haven't met. James Chamberlain. Okay. I know. Did you used to be a police officer somewhere? Or I recognized you, but I wasn't 100% sure where I knew you from. But somebody said that you used to be a police officer in Gateway or something like that. Okay.
The detectives choose to not tell Grant why he's being questioned, and instead start things casually. Lead detective James Chamberlain begins by asking Grant about his career. As they're both cops, this is a good way to build rapport, and hopefully make Grant relaxed enough to open up and start talking. But remember, Grant has been a cop for decades. He's been on the other end of interrogations many times, and won't easily fall for Detective Chamberlain's fake friendliness.
You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that? I need to affirm a yes or no. Okay.
Grant is then read his rights, and it's at this moment he decides to make things very difficult for the detectives.
I want to talk to you about what you've done today, okay? Can you just take me through when you woke up this morning to when you got stopped by the police out there in what's the name of that road that you're on? I'm sorry, I'm going to drop Gant Ridge.
I'm not going to say anything after I've been read those rights yet.
Okay. Why don't you want to talk to me about your day?
I don't know what's going on. I am kind of sickly to what I'm here for and things.
Grant tells the detectives he's staying silent. He also says he feels sickly as he hasn't been told why he's been brought in. He looks concerned and uncomfortable, likely because, for the first time, he's the one being interrogated, not the other way around.
So you're telling me that you don't want to talk to me right now?
I'm going to remain silent.
Okay, cool. Hang tight right here for just a few minutes, okay?
Grant is staying silent, so the detectives do the second trick in their book, leaving the room for a few minutes. This does two things. It allows the detectives to plan on what to say next, and also gives Grant time alone to worry about what might be happening. But on the flip side, it also allows Grant to plan out his next moves.
By the way, I'm Detective Cordier. I think we've met once before.
Probably so.
I don't know if I scared you at the beginning or what, but that's why I was trying to, and I can't, you see the position that I'm in. I can't tell you why you're here, but at the same time, I need to rule you out into something. I need to rule you out as a suspect in a crime that's been committed. And that's why we got you here, is because we need to talk to you, find out where you're at. Does that make sense?
When the detectives come back into the room, they try a different technique, telling Grant they merely want to rule him out of something. This calms many suspects and gets them talking, but Grant is all too familiar with these tricks, having used them himself for many years, and once again says he's staying silent.
Would you be willing to talk to me about your day, knowing that I need to rule you out of something, or like I'm at a loss here, and I need to clear you from something. And if you didn't do anything wrong today, you have nothing to worry about. And that's kind of where we're at.
Well, yes, I would have liked to, but before the rights were read. So not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, and you understand as a detective, we read those rights to everybody who comes in here. It's not just you.
Grant is doing what any lawyer would advise. By not answering any question, Grant avoids saying anything incriminating, and also stalls the investigation, giving him more time to come up with a story. And all of this is completely legal, which is why Detective Chamberlain is visibly annoyed.
Okay, so what happened today? Can you walk me through your day about what happened today?
I have to remain silent.
Okay.
On that.
Okay, so you're telling.
Right.
Okay, so you're telling me you did do something today that was wrong then. I guess if it was me and I was, if I was in your position, I'd be like, hey, James, I did this. Or Grant, I did this. I was at, here, and here. And I would just be done with it. And that way you can get out of here. But at this point, I can't clear you from this because you could still potentially be a suspect. I know you were a police officer before, right? You're a police officer in Gateway? It's an easy yes or no.
I'm being silent.
Well, I can see that. We can do this all night. I mean, it doesn't bother me. You're going to continue to be a suspect until I find out otherwise.
Okay.
To regain composure, the detectives leave the room for another break. Now alone, Grant begins to look more concerned, and even tries to escape using a back door. But the door is locked. Grant then tries to talk his way out of the interrogation room.
Hello, I need to go.
You need to go where?
Home or get ready for work in a little bit.
Okay, we'll just have a seat and I'll get it for you.
Okay, I'm just ready to go.
Okay. And I'm not ready for you to go yet, so you're not going to be able to go. I've got other things that I'm doing right now.
I was going to go.
Oh, no, you're not going to go.
Tell you that.
Okay, yeah, no, you're not going to go.
But I'm going to. Okay.
Perfect, thank you.
Normally under these circumstances, the suspect would be let go. After all, the interview isn't going anywhere, and the cops don't yet have enough evidence to charge Grant with any crime. But Detective Chamberlain tells Grant he can't leave. This allows cops time to gather more evidence, and speak to any witnesses who saw the crime take place. It also allows Detective Chamberlain to talk to Grant's wife, who, unlike Grant, does talk, saying that she wasn't sure where Grant was earlier that day.
Detective Cordero is talking to your wife right now. I talked to her a little bit. So I've kind of got a timeline of where you were and where you weren't today. I know you went to eat, out tonight. I know what you said at dinner. I know that you went to Lowe's afterwards. I know everything, but I don't know what caused the incident. I don't know. And if I don't know that, I've got to assume the worst. I'm not going to sit here and play games with you. I'm not. I know, you know. We have witnesses that put you there. The 2 cars that drove by. Look, man, I'm not... I just want to know why it happened. They physically ID'd you. I'm going to sleep good tonight regardless of whether you want to talk to me and tell me what happened or not. I don't think you will.
The detective says he has a witness who can place Grant at the crime scene. Of course, the detective may simply be bluffing, but unfortunately for Grant, he's not. To make things even worse for Grant, the witness was a man named Andrew Tillman, a resident of Gateway, who had known Grant since he was a child. Grant knows the detective knows exactly what happened, but he also knows the only hope he has of getting away with this is to stay silent, and hope the detectives can't find the evidence they need. The detective then tries his third technique, bringing in Grant's wife and daughter to make him more emotional. But even this doesn't work. So instead, the other detective, Nakona Cordero, takes over the interrogation. Male suspects are actually more likely to speak to a female detective, mainly because they view them as less intimidating and more understanding. She knows this is the last trick in the detective's book.
Man, I remember being on patrol and running into you one night. Help me out on a call, back me up.
Detective Cordero begins by saying Grant apparently helped her on a case 3 years ago. This may not be true and Grant doesn't seem to remember it, but it will make Grant feel like Cordero owes him a favor, and will thus be more understanding.
I mean, I know you probably slept in because you work nights. I work nights.
I'm just ready to go to bed.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Me too. Me too. And if we could do that, you just talk to me.
Well, I just have to... Since you read those rights, I have to stay. I have to do the right.
Tell me. Let me help me help you. I want to know what I can do or what happened today to be able to explain it later.
I don't know what happened today.
People are going to have questions. Your family.
Well, I have questions.
Well, exactly.
So,
So why can't we figure this out together? Let me help you.
thank
You have to help me first.
Cordiero also builds rapport by saying that they both work nights, and she's tired just like Grant. She also uses very smart language, saying words like "we" and phrases like "I'm here to help you," hoping this inclusive language will help Grant to open up.
Did you watch anything good on TV? Usually that's what I do. I'd eat and watch TV. I'll woke myself up a little bit. Anything good?
Same old stuff
Oh yeah?
on TV.
You watch the same episodes? Or like, do you have a specific TV show you would wake up and watch?
Well, we watched, I can't remember what channel it's called, Right Now TV Land.
Oh, okay.
They begin talking about TV. This may seem totally irrelevant, but at last, Grant is actually talking. This makes Grant relax, and also makes him trust Cordiero more. But Cordiero takes it too far, telling Grant that she's here to help him.
I think you have a lot to live for. Beautiful family, who I've had the privilege of talking to. Who they love. You love them very much and they love you. But the way I look at it is you're a man. Men face their mistakes and they own up to them. And they figure out what happened and figure out how to solve it and move on. I'm honestly here to help you. I want you to understand that. I wouldn't spend my time in here with you if I didn't honestly think that you were a good person and that something happened today that needs to be explained.
Grant sees right through this lie and shuts down once again.
Did you make a mistake today? Don't you know why you're here?
Can I get a lawyer?
It's up to you.
But obviously something's going on and I need one.
After hours of interrogation, Grant finally decides he needs a lawyer, meaning the detectives have to end their interrogation. Grant stayed silent and went to trial, but after seeing all of the evidence against him, both Grant and his lawyer realized there was no way he was getting away with this. So Grant went on to plead guilty to first-degree murder, but in a very disrespectful move refused to reveal his motive, leaving James Appleton's family without closure. But as Grant's trial was going on, his darkest secret would be revealed, proving just how evil he really is. After Grant's DNA was taken, police were shocked to find it already in their system, linked to an unknown suspect for a crime committed 20 years ago. In November of 1997, an elementary school teacher had gone into the teacher's lounge bathroom. Waiting inside was a man with a firearm. The man made her go into a stall and then her, leaving behind DNA evidence. The teacher reported this crime, but the case went cold, until 20 years later when the DNA was matched to Grant, meaning Grant was given 2 separate sentences, 21 years in prison for murder and a further 14 years for Grant won't be eligible for parole until he's 85 years old, meaning that this evil police chief will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below what you think about this insane case. Be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.